I got my boy Nasar with me right down the street from me in Charlotte. And I wanted to have him on today because this dude honestly inspired me in the beginning when I got started when I was 24, about 6 years ago. And this dude, he's a little more creative. So I wanted to have him on and talk about some ways that we can, of course, take down some deals for ourselves. Because I mean, he's done new construction to rentals to rehabs. Dude is pretty outstanding. So if anybody's not familiar with this dude, Nasar, can you just do quick, just quick intro about yourself a little bit, and then we'll get to some gems.
All right, great. Well, I'm Nasar El Arabi, the real estate guru. I'm not a guru. I'm a Doru because I actually do this business. I've been involved in real estate since about 2007. And from being involved in real estate since about 2007, I learned about creative real estate in 2010. Did my first wholesale deal in 2011. I've been full-time doing this since September of 2012. That's when I got fired from my job. And ever since, man.
Heck yeah! That's what's up. I love the fire from your job story. I thought that was awesome. Yeah, I never been a good employee myself.
Man, I was terrible, bro. Like every job I had since graduating from college, like the last, I graduated from college in 07, moved in Jersey, King University. 08, I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. At the time, Charlotte was cheap. It ain't cheap no more, bro.
Nah. It's a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level.
Whole nother level. Know what I mean? But at the time, fortunately, it was cheap. So my first job out here was like $10 an hour. Then I worked for another call center, Wachovia. At the time, it was Wells just bought them, and there for 2 years, man. And TIAA Cref, which is like an investment company. In 2012, I worked for another bank, I was in the life insurance department. But my background is in banking. Nothing important, but yeah, no, I never had like an important job, important title, or anything like that. But
I love it. You got an important title now, man. You stimulate the economy, bro. Man, so I saw the new builds. I was like, wow, okay, he's doing it. I love that. How did that even like come about? Like, did you raise private money for that? Did you get a construction loan when you started doing those? I mean, and honestly, building new houses, I mean, $500,000 houses in the hood. I mean, did you just say, hey, I'm gonna do this, or somebody gave you the idea?
Somebody gave me the idea, bro. My first one, bro. It was I had a deal in the hood. I was rehabbing. In the particular hood I'm talking about is down the street from the Panther Stadium.
Yeah.
So this is where my lender didn't trust me as much. So he would want to see my projects that I had see before he said yes, he wanted to see what I was doing. So he came up to a property. It was, probably about 900 square feet. And it was I want to say it was like a 3-1, real small. And house probably been vacant for years. Man, they had homeless people in there defecating and everything. The owner, he had the house since like the late 70s, and I'm not making this up. He made his money 50 times over. He was very well. Like he had at that time, the owner had so many properties. It was like, all of them don't have the cash flow, and I'm still good.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the lender was like, so what do you want? I said, all right, give me 90 purchase and 100 in rehab. He said, yo, what you gonna do with the 100? I said, the plan is I'm gonna probably add about 500 to 600 square feet, making a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. They're getting 3-bedroom, 2 baths in this area. At that time, they were getting like 300. They're getting a lot more, way more now, but it was getting about 300,000. And I was like, I'm gonna do like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And the 3-bedroom, 2 baths houses are either getting sold in one day or getting sold before they hit the market.
Nice.
So he was like, and you say you need 100? I said, yeah. He said, man, yeah, who told you? Your contractor looked at it? I said, yeah, he looked at it. He said he could get everything never 100. He said, look, bro, I don't trust that guy. He said, man, You going to, he said, man, I know there's foundation issues that he's not telling you about in this property. He was like, man, I know. He said, he ain't telling you about, and what's going to happen is he's going to take this house apart, and then he's going to call you up and say, man, I got to fix the foundation and all the piers. Because he was like, you see how it's lumpy? He said, man, I would be surprised if it wasn't any foundation issues. So I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, well, yeah, I was just going to do rehab. He said, yo, why don't you just knock it down and start over?
Oh man.
So I said, I don't got that kind of money.
Yeah.
He said, I'm telling you, man, it'd be a lot easier. He was like, I said, man, look, I don't want to mess up your money, bro.
Yeah.
So he was like, he said, I don't want you to mess up my money, but what if I partner with you? Would you do it? I said, hell yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Nice. Bro.
That's I love that. Hey, so question. So for that one, you raised the money. It sounds like it wasn't a bank. It was an actual guy that was in the market that was down to lend money, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So what was the benefit for him to partner with you versus just lending you the money?
All right. Well, instead of getting his hard money rates on his money, he becomes a partner, and not only he gets paid for us utilizing his money, he also gets the back end spread, like a 50% back end spread.
Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah. So hard money rates, for those who are not familiar, is normally expensive money, anywhere from 10% up until 18%, depending on where you at. Could be more than that. And it's normally an all interest payment. So you get your principal back plus interest, but in this case, he got his principal, interest, and half of equity.
Wow. Okay. Dope. I like this. So had he done a deal with you before this one, or was this the first one?
No, he done a deal. He done a few deals with me before then, and he took a liking to me because he was like, man, you're a real go getter. So.
I like this dude. I love private money myself. So how did you find him? Like, what did that look like? How did you find him? And like, what was that first conversation when you were trying to raise money from him? Because I mean, a lot of people, we're getting in it, we finding deals, great news, we're assigning them, and then that's it. We just stay in kind of that bucket versus really maximizing the deal. Because you can do a lot more than just assigning contracts. So how did you find that person?
Man, that's a great question, right? So my first property in Jersey, I flipped to 07. I lost money, bro. I lost me and my partner, $7,000 a piece. We lost, right? So 08 moved to Charlotte.
It happens.
08 moved to Charlotte. This is my first real estate transaction ever. But 08, I moved to Charlotte, picked up a rental. I did this all the traditional way, realtor, loan. I was making $10 an hour, but I always had great credit. And at that time, again, Charlotte was cheap. Bought the first one for like 42. Bought another one, and okay, that was 09. Bought another rental. Then I couldn't buy anymore, and I read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that led me to the RIA, and I learned about the off-market stuff. But yeah, I couldn't buy anymore because my debt to income was too high at that point. So, all right, I had a bad taste in my mouth from rehab from the first one in 07. What happened was I made a name for myself wholesaling and as a go-getter and hustler. And this dude said, look, he was generating leads online. He said, look, man, I'm only focused on South Charlotte. Like, he only wanted nice stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he only wanted nice stuff. This is back when some investors went and come to they didn't want to do anything on the working class side of town. Definitely not the low income side of town. At that, now the whole city hot, but yeah, definitely they didn't want to do anything over there. So with that being said, he said, look, everything that comes in South Charlotte, I want all this other stuff. I want you to call them, meet with them, get deals in the contract. I said, all right, cool. So we came across this one lead. It was near me, my new house I lived in, and it was near me. And I'm like, yo, we can rehab this thing or whatever. So he like, all right, well, look, I'll meet my lender out there, whatever. And, I'm like, okay, cool. So we met the lender out there, and now I got the contact. This is why I wanted to partner with somebody in rehab.
Yeah.
And now I get the contacts, right?
Yeah.
Network. And I forgot how me and the lender exchanged information. I don't know if it was email or something, or we exchanged information. I forgot how it happened, but we end up exchanging information, and we would end up doing that rehab. But what happened before that rehab, the person that I partnered with ended up getting robbed and shot.
Ah.
Yeah.
Get out of here. So this dude, oh golly. So the lender needed a new partner.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, so I'm like, damn, first I was sad for dude because
right.
he met somebody off Craigslist, right?
Yeah.
Met somebody off Craigslist, selling gift cards.
Wow.
He done a few transactions with the person.
Yeah.
And then the person came back with like, that big amount. Like, yo, look, I got 5,000 in gift cards just give me 2,000. Person set him up and robbed him, but the dude, he's like a bigger dude, so when he tried to rob him, he tried to snap. He a military guy too. He tried to snap him. Get out of here. And they end up shooting him. But fortunately, he ended up surviving. You know what I mean? And me and the lender talk. I'm keeping up with the family, hoping everything is all right. Doing some leg work, selling the rest of the properties that dude had, so we could get. And I'm dropping off money to the wife.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So the lender was like, "Yo, you want to go in and do the deal?" I said, "Yeah."
Nice.
I said,
"Nice."
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm nervous, right? So I found another real estate contact. He did the rehab for me. He did the rehab for me, and everything was smooth, which they usually don't go smooth in rehabs. But he did the rehab for me, and after that deal, I mean, looking back, it was so much stuff I wish I would have kept, but it was put 65 into it. I'm sorry. I bought it for 65. We put about 20 grand into it. We sold it for like 150. Okay.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
I dropped 50% of the proceeds off to his wife. So the lender like, wait. You giving him how much?
Yeah.
50%. That's what we agreed to. He's like, yo, most people wouldn't have did that. Most people would have said, like, nah, he didn't do no work. I did all the work. So let me 70, 80, 90%.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, nah, bro, we had an agreement. I wouldn't be in none of this position if it wasn't approved. So I dropped off the 50% off to his wife. And ever since then, the lender just been impressed with me. He was
exactly. I love that. Just because you were a go giver, you wasn't all about it for yourself. Yeah.
He said, bro, most people wouldn't have did that. He said, bro, most people would have justified giving him less because they did all the work.
I love that. So you got it. Number one, you're doing deals, right? You're doing deals with your buyer, and then next thing you know, you're networking because you're networking with his people and bringing in contacts from his. That's perfect. That's perfect. So question. Let me. And I want to go into a little bit of detail about this private money, right? So the guy says, "Great, I'm gonna give you private money," and it could be different in situations, but I just want people to understand how it goes. So the guy said, "Great, I'm gonna fund this deal for you." Right, your purchase agreement, your purchase is 60. You know, you got to put 50 in. Is he giving you the 60 and the 50 before closing? Is he giving it to you at closing? Is he putting the construction on a drawer? Like, how's that working out so people can really understand?
That's an excellent question. All right, so my lender, except for like the last 30 days, he'll normally fund 100% of purchase. But when the COVID thing happened, he got kind of nervous.
Yeah.
Bro, I need you guys to give me that. All right. Anyway, so my lender, he ends up, he was like, this is what he normally does. So I purchased a $65,000. He'll fund it. I'll probably bring closing costs and insurance. Sometimes I even fund that. Depends what I ask for. And from there, we work on the construction draw. Like, let's say the construction draw was $20,000. My lender only wants he wants to make as least as many trips as possible.
Yeah.
So if it's a $20,000 draw, he'll just say, "Hey, spend the 20, and I'll reimburse you." So to finish it out, right? So a draw works on. So let's say a draw is 60 grand, right? He'll say, "I'll give you 3 draws of 20. You spend 20, he'll walk it, then you get reimbursed.
Yeah.
Second 20, and if you mess up during that process, you don't get that last 20 until that property is done.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So you always want to have some kickback because things do go wrong.
Yes. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. That's perfect. So great. So we can raise money from a private money lender, and we're paying, between 10 and 18%.
For hard money. That's correct.
For hard money. Okay. But in order to get somebody to like you and to lend the first time, you might want to pitch a 50-50 partnership. That's what it sounds like.
That's what I tell people.
Yeah, I love it. Me personally, I love the partnership. I own like 14 rental properties with a partner, and it works because on those partnerships I don't have a mortgage on those, but all of my sub twos that I own myself, I got mortgages on those. So it keeps everything balanced.
Right.
So question. So we get a deal. Let's say we want to find it. How else can we go about new wholesalers, new investors? How else can we go about funding these deals and keeping them ourselves?
All right. So you want to see if you can. You want to create private money relationships, right? Now, this credit card thing that I'm gonna tell you guys about is not going to work for everybody. It's not going to work for everybody's market. This is for people who have great credit, right? And sometimes people think that credit and income are the same thing. They're two totally different things.
Yeah, agreed.
Two separate different things, right? I have good credit all the way from my father put me in the game, sent me to his friend.
Yep.
So from like 20 to all my 20s up until now, but I had a 700 plus score, but I was broke. All your credit score reflects is, hey, we let this guy pay back money. We let this guy borrow money. He's probably going to do what he says and pay it back.
Yeah.
Right? The credit score has nothing to do with the amount of money you make or income. So with that being said, if you have, this is how I used to take, I took down some properties when Charlotte was cheap. Unfortunately, you're not going to find the 20,000 and 40,000 houses here. Somebody told me they still got those type of deals in Greensboro, though.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. So I'm buying it. I'm buying it like 25 grand a door or less right now.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Charlotte that doesn't exist anymore. So with that being said, but let's say you're in the market that you can get those type of deals. You can, depending on your credit card balance, it's crazy. This kid at my job put me up on this because his father was he said his father was a millionaire from real estate.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, he wanted to work at the job. He came up in privilege, so he didn't have that hunger that me and you have.
Yeah.
Well-off kid, but he just came up in privilege. So it was like, yo, why work if my father already did it? I was just,
That's totally different mindset because I'm like getting it right now.
There you go. So, all right. So with that being said, he was like, I told him about a property. He said, huh? He said, you need $10,000. I said, dude. He said, yo, I can call my. He said, yo, I could call my family or something. But he was like, look, you got a credit card? I said, yeah. He said, look, he said, what's the balance on it? Whatever. At that time, maybe it was like 15, 18 grand at that time.
Yeah.
So, he was like, dude, he said, this is what you do. Call up your credit card. Hello. You want you need some balance transfer checks.
Nice.
He said some of them are offering with a balance transfer, they'll do 0%. Okay? He was like, they'll do 0% and they'll send you the checks and then you put the money in your bank and use that to buy the real estate. And then you buy the real estate, you can pay them back monthly or pay it off. I'm like, wow.
Dang, yeah, nice. Nice.
I'm like, let me see if this really works. So, I called the credit card company. I'm like, yo, I need some balance transfer checks. It was like, I called them. They having it. Yeah, you want a promotion? It's 0%, etc. Now, just to explain to your audience, when these credit card companies do the balance, give you balance transfer checks, what their intent is for you to take your other credit card debt.
Yes.
And give
Yes.
it to them.
Yes.
You get in debt with them. They'll give you a low introduction rate on
Yeah.
that because they want you to be in debt with them because that's how they make money.
That's how they make money. Yeah.
Right. So that's what happened. So I had I got like 15 grand or whatever, and I bought the property. I got they put the money, everything worked like he said it was gonna work. Bought the property and got the person out, the tenant out, and we end up selling it, making a profit, and then I paid off the credit card.
Nice.
Oh, this is wow.
Yeah, that's what's up. No, I love that.
Yeah, now I'm 37 now, and my credit card balance, I got some 50, 60, 20, 30, in reference where I can just call up and say I need balance transfer, and if we had $30,000 or $40,000 properties here, I can just cash out everything.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. And honestly, I know a guy locally. He buys sub-twos like that. The seller is $7,000 in the rears. He'll balance transfer. That 7 plus a little rehab, and work it out like that.
It works. It works great for subject to deals. So what he's saying is right. So instead of like cashing out the whole property, sometimes when you're working this business, you're gonna come across sellers who say, "Hey, look, man, I'm just done. I just want to I'm just gonna walk away and whatever." And you like, whoa, before you walk away, what if I could save your credit?
Yep, there it is.
That way it'll be easier. And some people like the house we're in right now that I live in. I got this with no down payment, like zero.
Nice, nice, nice.
The person was just gonna walk away from them. Say, oh, wait. Before you do that, so. And what you could do is, like, let's say your money's tied up. Now, which Sawan, is that in order for your money to make money, you got to throw it out there. So
yeah,
it's times when you have a lot of money out in the street.
Yeah.
So that's why real estate investors, we like to leverage by
Yes.
using other people's money, borrowing
Yes.
to make these deals happen, because at any given time, you can have a bulk of money out in the street.
Yes.
Come back.
Yeah.
This is why we're entrepreneurs, we're risk takers, we're hustlers. We're trying to make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Just having 6 figures in the bank, that ain't
that ain't gonna work for you.
You know what I mean? You got working. So with that being said, yeah, man. So it's really good for subject twos. Like, so if you're somebody and your credit cards is $10,000 limits and all that, now you gotta have discipline, bro. Like me,
For sure.
I don't do consumer debt. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't do, if I use my credit card for something on the consumer side, I'm paying it off once I get the bill. So I'm not one of those people who do consumer debt. So my credit cards, so they're normally paid off all the time.
Yeah.
What I can do is the balance transfer situation, which is me calling up a bank and saying, hey, look, I need a balance transfer. I need to do a balance transfer for $8,000. Fast forward to 2020, they don't really send out checks too much. They'll just direct deposit in your account.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Just put the money in your account, and then you're free to do whatever with it. It's borrowed.
So question. So I got a question. Okay, so let's say that somebody's able to do this. Okay, they got good credit. They have let's say they don't have a credit card. Okay, there's several different types of credit cards. What credit cards are we looking at? Are we looking at personal? Are we looking at business? And do you suggest any companies that you've used in the past or have cards with right now?
Okay, so ideally, all right, starting out, you're going to start out personal. Starting out. It's going to take you a while to build up your business credit. And if you have your LLC and you're eligible for a business credit card, I strongly recommend you getting one. Starting out for your LLC, they will ask you to be the personal guarantor.
Yeah.
So That's normal. What that means is you're personally liable if anything goes wrong. When everything goes right, though your business debt will not show up on your personal credit report.
Yep.
Only if you don't pay, that's going to show up on your personal credit report.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So most people, you have to start. This is why I started off with using personal credit cards. If you don't have any credit cards, but you have decent to good credit, Capital One, they normally give everybody a credit card.
Yeah. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah, if you got a credit, if you have great credit, and you got options, I would get an airlines credit card.
Yeah.
The reason why I get an airline credit card is because you get points.
Yeah.
And you use those points for flights.
Yes.
I'm one of those people who like to travel.
Where you traveling to, bro?
Well, 2020 is canceled. I ain't going. But I have some spots lined up, but it's over with. It's canceled.
It is. Like earlier this year, we my office, I have a little team, but our office we hit $100,000 in January. So I was like, yo, we're gonna go out, use our points. We're gonna go to California. So we went to California, and we were gonna go out to Phoenix in October, but that's wax now. That's wax now. We're not doing that. We can't go nowhere.
It ain't worth the risk right now, bro.
Nah, it ain't, man. It ain't. Honestly, I'd rather protect myself and be good to see another year.
That's how I feel about it. I had to cancel all mine. I'm like, man, this COVID, nah, it's over with. So yeah.
Heck yeah, man. I love that, man. Is there real quick before we wrap up? Is there any so we talked about private money, and then we talked about using money from our credit cards. I mean, is there any pitfalls that we should stay away from with either or? I mean, is there anything that could really trap us up?
Not having sufficient reserves for either a sub-2 deal or a rehab deal. Okay? Some people go into these transactions with good intentions. I strongly recommend on a rental, if you could have $5,000 in reserve per door on rentals, because when you're dealing with rentals, it's not if something goes wrong, it's when.
Right.
Same thing with flips. If you could have if you know a rehab is going to run you $15,000, ideally you want to have an extra $10,000 for if something goes wrong. If the property doesn't sell as fast as you thought it was going to sell.
Yeah.
These things happen. It's just part of the business. It's not the business picking on you. It's just it just happens.
It's something that's always happens. Every time. For real.
So with that being said, my biggest to avoid pitfalls, have those reserves, because I've seen people, they go out and get subject twos because they can, and they're not rented as fast. They thought they was going to be rented, and they end up losing them all and end up getting a lawsuit against them because of the transaction. I've seen people try to do rehabs with no reserve. The first contractor screws them over.
Right.
And then they're forced, either the contractor disappear or they fire the contractor, and it's like, boom, now they're stuck with this project. They have no money. They can't pay the lender, and everything just goes down south. So with that being said, man, just whatever transaction you're trying to do, try to make sure you have reserves. All right. When I first started borrowing from my credit card, it was on deals I was in and out, not long-term stuff. Yeah. I was building up that reserve. So deals I was in and out, So just keep that in mind, man. You want to have that cash on deck.
Heck yeah. Is there any way we can get paid at closing when we buy these deals with credit cards, or if we buy them with private money? Is there any way we can get some type of money back, like we buy the property and we get money back?
Absolutely. There's ways like that. I mean, you could just ask for more than you want. I've had a few transactions where sellers brought cash to the table that, it was certain circumstances, I don't want to get into that, but there are certain situations where you get cash back at closing.
Heck yeah, I mean, that's for sure. Like you can definitely negotiate with sellers to bring some cash, especially if you know they might not be hurting, but they for some reason they're motivated just because they're trying to protect their financial assets. And then also we always have front money whenever we're funding a flip. So I'll give you an example. So we just took down one in British Woods. So ARV is like 250. We got it on the contract for 70. We got the reduction to 65. Okay, so we got it on the contract for 65. Our private money lender, right? He's funding a purchase of 90 and a rehab of 70. So on the front, so today, well, yesterday for the closing, he brought 90 to the table. So we get to pocket 27,000. So of course the team eats off of that, and that's our reserves. That's our reserves for the, for the house. If we need to pay for the dumpster, cleaner, something crazy happens with the foundation, whatever, something happens, we got extra money. And then of course we do our traditional draw, construction draw. So that way we get some money on the front, and then of course we get our, our 70 grand on the back. But yeah, so definitely be creative when it comes to getting those reserves, even if you don't have it, because you can do these deals out here.
Right.
Yeah, heck yeah. Well, look, man, how can people find you, network with you, and do business with you?
All right. So Instagram, Real Estate Doru. On YouTube, Real Estate Doru. That's 2 words. Real Estate Doru, Doru. Also, my Facebook group, Wholesaling with the Doru.
Wholesaling with the Doru, nice.
Yeah. My blog, realestatedoru.com. And yeah, that's pretty much how you can contact me.
That's awesome. Hey man, yeah, I appreciate you taking the time, brother. And if you ever need help, I know you got people in the area, but if you ever need help with something over here, or if I ever got something out there, I'll definitely reach out to you.
Hey man, I appreciate it, and I definitely will do that, man. Thanks for having me on.
Bro, it's easy, son. Easy, bro. You that dude. Yeah, you that dude. Just so you know, it's not too many people. I'm trying to get to where I'm making like a true million. So you definitely one of those that inspire me to focus and to do different things. So I appreciate you, bro.
No doubt, bro. And I'm glad I can help you, bro. Let's go out here and make it happen.